Every adversity, every failure, and every heartache carries with it a seed of equal or greater benefit. You might say, bullcrap, you don't know what I've been through. That's ridiculous. What benefit could there be in watching a child suffer? Or whatever. Life keeps taking from me and I have yet to see the benefit. And if you're thinking that, if that's how you feel, you're right. You're right because that's your perspective. That's how you see things. To think that life is going to be a bed of roses with unicorns and rainbows, and that adversity is to be avoided, like COVID in 2020, that's like choosing to live life where you die now and get buried 40 or 50 years later. Because to choose to live life without adversity is choosing to live life in comfortable complacency. But the world would have you believe something different. The world encourages us to avoid adversity and at steep costs. Proof? 3 examples. 1, weight loss. Have you tried to lose weight, go on a diet, get fit? The odds are that you have. It is a $7 billion industry here in Canada. And because of its lucricity, marketers are paid really big dollars to have you believe, A, you need to look a certain way to truly be happy, and B, you need to use their product to look a certain way to truly be happy. And why? Because using their product will have it happen faster, seemingly better, and with little effort, right? Okay, example 2, mental health. 1 in 3 Canadians will be impacted by a mental illness at some point during their lifetime. That's 9.1 million people. And so the world has us believe that if we're not feeling a certain way, if we're not happy all the time, then something's wrong with us. And the fix? Medicine. Antidepressants and antipsychotic drugs net the pharmaceutical companies $14.7 billion a year, despite the number of side effect warnings on the label. Now, I am not against medicine, but as a psychotherapist and a clinical social worker, I have seen it overprescribed and overused. Example 3, coaching. The Canadian Coaching Academy has reported that the coaching industry has brought in over $1 billion because people are looking for support in their growth journey. But then here come the marketers to all of the coaches. Hey, work with me. You got to work with me. I will get you 50 leads per day. We live in a world that basically tells us that we need to avoid adversity. There's a certain level of strength that we get from adversity. Have you ever been in a tumultuous relationship, a difficult relationship? I have. I was in a really difficult relationship with money. And I would describe that relationship as insane. It was insane because I would keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So I grew up in northern Manitoba, Thompson. As an 18-year-old just graduating high school, I decided that I was going to leave Manitoba and go to the big city, London, Ontario. When I got to London, and then I got to the university, the population of the university was the same as my hometown. And so there was freedom. There was opportunity just for the taking. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. And so that first week of school, they had all these vendors set up in Center Spot. I'm not sure if they still do this. But the vendors, they were selling things like clothes. They were selling things like posters. They were selling credit cards. And so one day I'm just walking along, and someone says to me, hey, come over here. What's your name? I say, Jen. Jen, do you have a credit card? Keep in mind, I don't know what a credit card is. That's how naive I was. Well, all you got to do is you make this application. You get a plastic card in the mail, and you can buy anything you want and pay for it later. I was like, cool, sign me up. And I became the Picasso of Charge It. I got my first credit card, my second credit card, my third credit card. By the time it was all said and done, by the time I graduated university, I had 3 major credit cards and 5 of those store brand cards. I said, okay, this is really silly. I am going to figure out a way to figure this out. And I went to the bank one day because I needed to pay all of these bills. And the teller says to me, Miss Ensign, there is an easier way to do this. And I'm thinking, there is? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. All you have to do, put all of your bills together and pay one low monthly fee. We're going to consolidate it. Faster, seemingly better, little effort. Sign me up. And so I got my first consolidation loan. A few years later, I got my second consolidation loan. A few years after that, a third. When it's all said and done, I owed a grand total of $86,498.15. Ridiculous. Insane. So when I almost was threatened to lose my home and my marriage was under severe financial strain, the thought came to me, okay, there has to be a better way. And one night, my son Isaiah, he was crying, he was hungry, he was formula. He had food from formula. He wouldn't take the breast, couldn't save me some money. But anyways, I ended up saying, what's going on? He's hungry. Okay, let me get some formula. I ran out of formula. It was 2 days until payday, $5 in the bank. I was way too proud to call my parents and ask for some money. And I rummaged through the couches, I rummaged in coat pockets to find enough money so that I could go buy my son some food. And I thought, man, there has to be a better way than this. A few years after that, I'm sitting at my kitchen table. I'm now depressed. I'm separated. And I'm just not enjoying life at all. And the kicker was when I was driving one day, and the thought went through my mind to just turn the wheel ever so slightly and just end it all. And that's when I knew there was a better way. And that is when Tina Turner saved me. She's just amazing. And in the 50s and 60s, she grew to international fame with her then-husband, Ike Turner, with songs like, and if you know it, sing it with me, Big wheel keep on turning, Proud Mary keep on burning, and we're rolling, rolling, rolling down the river. But what we didn't know was that Tina was being emotionally, financially, and physically abused. And in order to get free, she had to leave everything behind. And so that at the age of 44, Tina Turner started over again. She left it all behind, and she rose to such level of fame that she couldn't even believe it, with songs like, What's love got to do with it? See, adversity forced Tina to be creative, to be consistent, and to be confident. Now, you might be able to relate to my story. You might be able to relate to Tina's story, or you might not. But what you can't be denied is the lessons adversity teaches us. The art of creativity, the importance of consistency, and the fulfillment of confidence. When I had to file for something like a bankruptcy, and learn to live within my means, I turned my mind to reading books and taking classes and finding other people that went through what I was going through. And do you think I messed up? Yeah. But I kept studying different systems, and I got creative and created my own system. What is your different thing? What is that insane behavior that you do over and over and over again, expecting a different result? Take what works for you and create your own system. Not faster, not seemingly better and with little effort, but by being creative, by being consistent, and by being confident. And be consistent in whatever it is that you do. Life is simple. Just get out of your own way. You want to achieve a goal? Focus, act, adapt. Visualize what it is that you want to see. Put all the senses into it and make it a reality. There's this sack of neurons at the back of our brains called the reticular activation system. And basically what it does is it brings into your awareness that which you're not knowingly aware of. For example, have you or your family ever purchased a car before? And when you purchased that vehicle and you went out on the road, did you all of a sudden notice that car was everywhere? It's not that there was this huge sale and everybody went and bought it. It's that your reticular activation system brought it into your awareness. It was already there. So when we focus and visualize, our reticular activation system gets activated and shows us the opportunities that are right in front of us so that it can be a reality. But while you're being consistent, don't be insane. Don't do that thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. Be adaptable. There's a Chinese proverb that says, the strongest tree in the forest is not the mighty oak, it's the bamboo. Because when the strong winds come, the oak, stiff and strong, will break, whereas the bamboo will bend and get back up. Not faster, not seemingly better, and not with little effort, but by being patient with yourself so you can be creative and so that you can be consistent. And as you empower yourself, your confidence will grow. The world opens up to you. You'll take more risks. Have you ever walked out of your home knowing that you know you look good? There's a pep in your step. Your shoulders are back, and a magnetism that draws people into you. It's that level of confidence that is required to be able to fight off that inner critic that we all have. The inner critic that says, hey, you're not good enough. You can't do that. Why are you trying that? Say, hey, I got this. What is one thing that you can do every day to get that know that you know feeling? Adversity is your calling card. Will you answer or will you cower? When the pain of staying the same outweighs the pain of change, that's when there's potential for magic. And when you're living your life being creative, consistent, and confident, there's always somebody watching. And they're saying, if Jen can do it, I can do it. And someone's watching them. If they can do it, I can do it. And someone's watching them. If they can do it, I can do it. Eventually, you are surrounded by like-minded, confident people who are going to support you as you go through your own adversities. Being consistent, being confident, those are your keys to success. Always remember what Napoleon Hill said. Every adversity, every failure, and every heartache carries with it a seed of equal or greater benefit. Thank you.